Hi, I'm Paul Peterson, your host for Aging in LA. We're here by historic Angelus Flight, which used to take people from LA's commercial district up the hill to their residences in Bunker Hill. Of course, those historic homes up there on Bunker Hill have been replaced by gleaming skyscrapers, and with the Bunker Hill renovation, also Angelus Plaza, the largest retirement community in the United States. Now, we're here today at Angelus Plaza to take a look at the day-to-day goings-on. I think you'll find it really fascinating on aging in LA. Come on, let's go inside. Welcome back to Aging in LA. Today's program comes from Angelus Plaza, located on historic Bunker Hill, in the heart of Los Angeles, and the largest affordable housing community for older adults in the United States. Hi, we're here with the director of Angelus Plaza, Dr. Laverne Joseph. Thank you so much for making time for us today. This remarkable facility is like a secret, yet it's been around since 1981.
That's right. It's a one-of-a-kind. It is the largest affordable, subsidized, older adult community in the nation. There are 1,093 apartments here, and there's a waiting list of over 800 persons, about 8 vacancies a month, so you can tell it's about a 10-year waiting list.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, the kinds of services, do they go from completely independent living to assisted living facilities?
No, it's all residential living.
Residential.
We do not have assisted or skilled living here. We do have it in some of our other retirement housing foundation communities.
Boy, you must have a very busy social director around here, because our seniors are active.
Well, one of the other things that's here, which is very unique, is the Angelus Plaza Senior Center, which serves not only residents of this community, but also residents from the surrounding community. Very active programs, many providers in here providing services on a day-by-day basis, including a health center.
Now, how a person wouldn't ordinarily think of, let me retire downtown, or that's where I'm going to be, and yet many of these residents worked and have been living in the area for decades.
That's correct. And when you talk to some of them later today, you will hear some very interesting stories. We have some wonderful people living here.
Oh, I'm sure. I can just imagine some of the businessmen and women who served the community for many years and said, you know what, I'm not going to leave.
Right,
That's fantastic. Now, how did a place like this get underway? What an undertaking. This is big.
Well, this was actually begun by my predecessors. Let me say a word about Retirement Housing Foundation, which is the parent company. In 1961, 2 California United Church of Christ clergymen and a layman started RHF with $7,000 and a vision to provide housing and services to older adults. That vision now has grown to the present time when we have 156 communities in 24 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. We have almost 17,000 persons that make their home with us, mostly affordable older adult living, but also affordable housing for limited income families and persons with disabilities. And then back about 1979, Bunker Hill here was in a redevelopment area. And so the Community Redevelopment Agency provided the land, provided $10 million in a non-interest-bearing, non-recourse loan to do the underground caisson work to stabilize the hill. And we became the anchor project for the wonderful development that you see going on all around Angelus Plaza. So that's the way it all began.
Wow.
Done by my predecessors, not me.
Well, still, you're the man in charge here, and I can't wait to walk through the facility and see what you have here, because this is, in fact, a model project for the country. Remember, we got 80 million baby boomers coming.
The other thing that's very interesting now is that we have just recently refinanced Angelus Plaza with federal tax credits and tax-exempt bonds provided through the Community Redevelopment Agency and the state of California. And so the building opened in 1981, and we are in the middle now of a $43 million refurnishing program. And the excess from the refinancing will be used to preserve and to acquire additional affordable housing in the city of Los Angeles and nationwide. In fact, we have 4 properties that we're in the pre-development stage right now in South Central LA.
Oh, that's fantastic. Like I said, I can't wait to go through here. Thank you for making time for us today, and can't wait to see the rest of this place.
It's my absolute pleasure, and I thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. The Tom Bradley Center for Healthcare, sponsored by the nearby Good Samaritan Hospital, serves the community with basic medical needs, including dental care, podiatry services, and acupuncture. The medical staff is able to communicate with the clients in all the languages spoken at Angelus Plaza. We thought you might like to meet some of the residents here at Angelus Plaza. We have to my left Sandy, and Franco in the middle, the rose between the thorns, and Margarita. Welcome, all of you. How wonderful that you're here. And I understand, Sandy, since it's a big place, this is really the first time you met Margarita.
Yes, today. And she enjoys to be here.
What's wonderful.
What, you know.
Yeah. And you should all know about Franco, who was an activist and was part of the reason that in Obama's plan, we actually have some compensation for Filipino veterans.
That's right.
That's right. That's a remarkable accomplishment at 85 years old.
It's done by many groups, many members, many workers. We are 4,000 in all in our unit.
I'll be
4,000
4,000. And it took only 63 years.
Only 63 years to get some benefits.
Fantastic. Well, bless you for your work. And Margarita, you really love being here, don't you?
Oh, I do. This is, I don't want to live anywhere. It's just suited to my being. I have a beautiful library. Never did I ever think that I would have such a grand library. There was my neighbor. I belong to a book club, and I go and listen to all of those authors that I always have read for years and never hoped to ever meet them.
Well, it is one of the most remarkable buildings in Los Angeles. People, I don't know why they think it's difficult to get to the Reardon. Parking is easy, it's accessible, and their programs are wonderful.
And just the people, the difference. It's so cosmopolitan. The people that go use the library, that is more fun just to sit there and watch people.
I agree, but of course it is a thoroughly modern library with all the computer terminals, and they have DVDs and videotape. But let's talk more about this wonderful facility, Angelus Plaza. Do they keep you as busy as you want to be? Do you have free time to just kind of sit?
Yes, I have a lot of free time. Yes.
That's good. And Franco, do you have visitors come to see you?
A lot of visitors come, especially my family and, of course, the veterans.
Ah, yes. Oh, sure.
We have an office here, though.
I understand. Well, that's one of the great features of Angelus Plaza is they make office space available to groups like yours.
Yes, and we appreciate that very much because without this office, we would have no base from which to communicate with each other.
Right. Now, Margarita, did you work and live downtown before you chose to live here?
No, I relocated to Los Angeles in '93, and I lived in Colorado Springs, and traveled a lot all over the world, different countries, both lay religiously and as a professional. So when got to the point where you get to almost be 60, you start to think of, well, what are you going to do? And then my mother was getting older, and I knew she was going to need help, so that's why I relocated to Los Angeles. I was raised in La Puente, when La Puente was 350 people.
Oh my.
I'm sure it was West Covina, but what do we know? And my father had to relocate the dairy to Chino when the Freeway 10 went right through the dairy.
I want to thank you once again for joining us today to share a little bit of what your thoughts are of living here in Angelus Plaza. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate expressing our thoughts about Angelus Plaza. You know, we like to stay here, and if we could stay long enough, if our time is not too short.
Oh, may you live to be 150. As Franco mentioned, Angelus Plaza makes office space available to organizations that are formed by residents of the community, as well as other nonprofit groups. Here are just a few of those organizations. Now, you are looking at an artist's rendition of the whole facility, and we are sitting here with Gloria Castor, who is the administrator. Gloria, this is a large, large facility.
It is, and we're very proud of it. Right now, we're sitting down in our Agape Center,
Right
which
here.
is also our senior activity center, where we have a multitude of programs going on. And later on, we'll take you up all to our residential towers. As you see, we have 5 large buildings here, comprising 1,093 units. And we also have 2 zip codes.
2 zip codes,
2
fantastic.
zip codes for us in downtown LA.
And 2 polling places as well.
And 2 polling places,
Now,
yes.
are the residents politically active? Are they paying attention? Yes.
Very active. In fact, we just had our elections here, and we had several people. We had opened the lobby in our C building, and so we had several people in there, and polls are open all day long.
That's fantastic.
And we have residents that are very involved in the policies.
But there's also the language challenge. You were telling me briefly that at least 4 languages every announcement.
Every announcement is done in English, Korean, Chinese, and Spanish.
Oh, gosh.
But during the time we're doing our elections, we also have our translators for the residents. So we had a Chinese and Korean and
Right.
Spanish translator as well.
Gloria, Dr. Josephs was telling us about the waiting list that you have here. Could you expand on that, please?
Well, Paul, we have a very lengthy waiting list right now, and it's approximately 10 years long. So if people find out about these buildings, they should really get on the waiting list as soon as they can.
Well, thank you for opening the
Thank you
facility
very
to us
much.
today. We really appreciate it. I can't wait to see the rest of it.
Oh, my pleasure.
During our visit to Angelus Plaza, we visited with a couple of volunteers. The first one joined us in the garden on the promenade level. We're visiting with Bella Veleza, who is one of the many volunteers here at Angelus Plaza.
Yes.
How did you get involved in volunteering here at Angelus Plaza?
Well, I was retired,
Mm-hmm.
and I was walking in the park. I live in Echo Park,
Mhm.
and we have that park with the lotus blossoms.
Yes, of course.
And I met a friend, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing much." And he says, "Well, have you heard of Angelus Plaza?"
Wow.
I go there, he said. I go there to play pool. And why don't you check it out? And I said, "I'll do that." And so the following day, I did go, and I met Jeffrey Winston. And then he said that there was a need for a librarian.
Right?
I was an English major, so I mean, it just fit right in. So I said, "Oh, I'd love to do that."
Well, and you do it. It used to be 5 days a week, 4 hours a day.
Yes, I did. Until this year, when they had the Alcoholics Anonymous
Right.
group meet there.
Meet
at
in the
12
library.
o'clock.
I
Yes.
understand.
And so instead of working until 1 o'clock, I now just work 2 hours, from 10 to 12.
Still fantastic that you're doing it, and I'm sure it's a situation where as much as you give, you get back as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bella, for being with us. This is a treat.
Thank you.
There are shelves and shelves of books, magazines, and periodicals, and other reading material in the library where Bella volunteers. Residents can also watch movies on a giant screen TV. Or just dance the afternoon away. There's a well-stocked mini-mart available, as well as a barber shop, and a beauty salon. Stay tuned to A Day in the Life of Angelus Plaza on Aging in LA. We'll be right back.
As kids, it's really important that we learn the proper way to cross a street. First, you have to stop at the curve, then look both ways to make sure there are no cars. If you see one, wait for it to pass, and when it's clear, you can cross. As kids, sometimes you have to set an example. Look both ways before you cross. Cars can't see you.
The Department of Public Works Bureau of Contract Administration keeps the city's projects on track, ensuring safety first and fairness always, from the streets all the way to the stars.
Welcome back to Aging in LA, where we continue our visit to Angelus Plaza, the largest affordable retirement community for adults in the country. Located on historic Bunker Hill in downtown Los Angeles, there are still reminders of the city's past in close proximity to the community. And nearby, the city's cultural institutions beckon residents to enjoy plays, music, and other performances, as well as museum presentations. The Cathedral of the City of the Angels is just down the street, as well as the brand new campus of the LAUSD High School for Performing Arts. Also within walking distance is the birthplace of our city, Alvera Street. Angelus Plaza is right next to transportation services, both old and new. The Pershing Street Red Line station is half a block from the plaza, and buses depart for destinations all over the city. Residents can also find many places to just relax and enjoy their surroundings. And we're here with still more residents of Angelus Plaza. Sheila Del Valle. What an exotic name, Sheila. How did you acquire that?
By marrying a Puerto Rican. if he'd been a Filipino, it would have been Del Valle.
Oh, I see. Well, I think I got it right. Now, you've been coming here for many years, and it was a surprise you came down to see a film?
Well, a friend brought me down here in the first place to see the film, and then later I got into the knitting here.
I see.
Yeah.
And Nick, for you, you've been here, you were telling me, 10 years now.
At least 10 years.
And when did you first find out about Angelus Plaza?
Oh, many years ago. I came in from New York and passed by and came in to look at the place. Never thought that I'd be moving in here.
Wow.
Because this was around 20 years ago.
Were you still working when you first found this place?
Yes, I was working.
Oh, fantastic.
I was in a plane. I was a drummer at that time.
Wow, at some of the theaters here?
Yes.
Oh my, that's great. Musician, wonderful. And Peter, now you've been here about 10 years. What was the decision-making process like that brought you here?
Well, I heard about this place through friends, and I came to visit a friend here, and they said, why don't you submit your name? And then about 4 or 5 years went by, and I got a letter that said, are you still interested in an apartment?
That's fantastic. It's kind of like waiting for a transplant.
Well, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to retire.
Right.
And when I got ready, I'm from the Los Angeles area, and I said, I would like to live down. I never lived downtown. I was from the Culver City area.
I see. Yeah, over there on the west side. But isn't it convenient? I mean, this is wonderfully convenient here.
Very much so.
I always get a kick out of explaining to people that Angelus Plaza is the skyline. It is part of the skyline. That's great fun. Now, do you get out into the neighborhood while you're here? Are you able to get to the library and the music center?
Yes.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Whenever I have to get something from the library, the one on Fifth Street is very close.
It's fabulous. That's one of the world-class libraries.
Right.
Thank you, Mayor Reardon. Peter, is your family able to visit? Do you have family
my
still?
kids are. I don't have any other family. My children, they don't live in the area. They live in Northern California, but yeah, they come down at least once a year.
Oh, that's good.
And I go there once a year.
So what about recreation?
I was involved in the pool tournaments they had, and lucky I came in first in one of them.
Oh, it's that New York City background.
No, when I moved here, I started playing. I didn't know how to play well.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know the rules, or I just thought it was just aim at a ball and try to get it in the pocket.
Very good. Now, you, of course, are part of the sewing club, or the knitting club, I guess. Do you do the crochet still? Or just the knitting?
No, I'm definitely a knitting person, but we do have people who crochet and who sew, and some that do crafts with plastic and things. They make some wonderful little Christmas ornaments out of plastic. They're fantastic.
Okay, now, Peter, so what is it that interests you that you're engaged in?
Well, I like to get out and about. I go to a lot of the surrounding communities because the bus transportation is so good in this area.
Sure.
You can go just about any place you want to go.
And you are at the hub of our transportation system.
Right.
Well, thank you all for joining me today and helping to give our viewers a flavor of Angelus Plaza. Thank you very much. Let's talk with another of the volunteers at Angelus Plaza. We're visiting with Carrie Perry, one of the institution's permanent members here. You've been here over 10 years as a volunteer.
Yes, I have.
Wow. Now, how did you come to know about the opportunities here?
Well, I live in the area, and I've been living downtown for more than 15 years.
I see.
And I became acquainted with Angelus Plaza because I don't consider myself a senior. I consider myself a seasoned citizen.
So, Carrie, what do you concern yourself with in terms of volunteering?
I go on trips with the seniors, and whenever they have special activities, I serve as a hostess. And from time to time, I have manned the phones and taken care of the office when they have special meetings and different things going on.
That's fantastic. Well, bless you for this service. And I'm sure you get more back than you actually
I
give.
I do. It's a pleasure for me to be here. The people are very easy to work with. And I think they like me well enough to ask me to come back.
Well, I'm sure they do. Thank you again for taking the time to join us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me.
The Senior Activity Center at Angelus Plaza presents all sorts of fun and adventure. Residents and neighbors can participate in Japanese folk dancing, tinkle the ivories, practice Tai Chi, play pool and other games, and take computer classes. Classes for at-risk students from a neighborhood high school are held at Angelus Plaza, and there is a senior mentoring program for the students, providing wonderful intergenerational experiences. There is always something wonderful happening at Angelus Plaza. Well, now we're going to visit with two people who are here on sort of a permanent basis. Chantal, you are the director of the Activity Center.
Yes, here at the Angelus Plaza.
Wow.
We serve our residents. We've got 1,300 residents who live here at the Angelus Plaza, but then we're also charged with serving the community and surrounding communities here.
Chantal, I thought it was wonderful that Angelus Plaza provides space for nonprofits so they can use this as a base.
It's a good joint venture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our classes, our activities depend upon a lot of volunteers. We raise money to hire various instructors so that we can provide services here for seniors for free. It's something that's very, very, very heartwarming to do.
Yeah, wonderful. Now I want people to meet Jeff as well. Thank you so much for it. You have put in a lot of labor to make our visit here today go so smoothly. Thank you,
It's a pleasure,
Jeff.
Paul.
Jeffrey, how did you find out about this position here?
I came to learn about it through CRA, which is a community redevelopment agency, and they have a partnership with the city and with Retirement Housing Foundation when this was first developed.
Wow, how long have you been here?
11 years.
Oh my word. Well, you said something earlier. Every day is different, and it would have to be.
Yeah, it's very unique. We never know what's going to happen. I do tours, I do media relations, public relations, help with the computer lab, and manage volunteers.
On a daily basis, how many volunteers are involved with Angelus Plaza?
Of about 130.
Fantastic.
Some are docents, some are work in the dining room, some in the library, some are receptionists. So it really helps them to make friends, learn new skills, and it's great for their esteem.
Do you involve your residents, Chantal, with their day-to-day life so that they can be maybe more creative with their time and stay active?
Well, we provide computer classes here. We provide knitting classes where they create things. We have a group called Project Hands where we get yarn donated, and our seniors make various projects, clothes, donate them to the Union Rescue Mission at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different cultures here. We have Korean, Chinese, Hispanic, Filipino, you name it. We've got it here. So
one of the things I love, so I've been noticing today, is that children are welcome.
Definitely.
Which is a good
Definitely.
thing. We have to keep that kind of interchange going.
We've got a high school on site also.
Really?
So with our high school, we have some of our seniors who act as mentors with them. So it's a nice joint venture.
Well, and this part of our community needs the wisdom and guidance of our seniors. Thank you both for taking the time today. And again, Jeff, thank you for making this possible.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. That's all the time we have for today's Aging in L.A., a day in the life of Angelus Plaza. Ah, and what a day it was visiting with the staff, the residents, and volunteers at the country's largest affordable retirement housing community located on Bunker Hill in Los Angeles. Remember, senior citizens living in surrounding communities are welcome for activities at the Senior Activity Center. And if you're thinking of living here, come on down and get on the waiting list. I'm Paul Peterson for Aging in L.A. See you next time.